We have a new purpose for these old wheels. Okay, I've got another mower here. It's a Craftsman 7 horsepower. Let's see, what is this? An 02. Actually, it looks in pretty good shape, doesn't it? It's the wheels aren't bald. This is a front wheel drive. The thing that I know it needs is a head gasket, and you can see where some oil has been spitting out, and spark plug is off. But the big thing, I can hear it. So the spark plug is still in there. Hear the hiss. So it's just all the compression just blowing out of it. That was one thing I was doing here too. I was playing with the cables. This thing had been sitting outside for a while, and WD-40'd everything, and this one started to move okay. This is still sticky, but the front wheel drive lever, and this is one when it clicks into place while you're holding the engine control lever. Then when you let it go, then the front wheel drive pops off too. And it felt kind of sticky. I almost hate to be that forceful with it, and because you could break the plastic. It's probably pretty brittle here, which runs into this problem. So this one, I'll have to take a close look at that. This is the actual throttle cable going to the front. Yes, it has a throttle. So I'll take that off and work it around, free it up, and hopefully be able to patch this up. But the main thing right now is the head gasket. Alright, got it up on a block there. Let's take the covers off. Air cleaner actually looks salvageable, doesn't it? Actually, nice one out here. So this is the one before. These usually 8mm shoulder shed on. These have a full set, machine through. These look good. There's no shoe on. I'll just go through some. It is a Alright. There we go. Yeah, everything else looks fine on it, really. I'm going to go ahead and take the valve cover off. I want to see what it looks like under there. The gasket looks good. take the spark plug off. And relieve what little pressure's in there. Clamp that down so that we can turn the flywheel freely. Yeah, so the valves look okay, and I'll double check those after I place the head gasket. Alright, so I took the carburetor off real quick and took the muffler assembly off. You can see it laying over there. And this is ready to take off here. And let's see what it looks like. Is that it? Just 4 bolts? I guess so. Let's see what it looks like. There's the push rods. They look okay. Must have been blowing out of the side here. It's really not as bad as I thought, but yeah, you can see the oil blasting out this side, which is kind of strange. You see only 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually there's some on the ends too. Because it's actually pretty clean. The valves feel good. They're not hanging up. And there's some carbon deposits there, but not a whole lot. Yeah, you can see where it's the gasket. Yep, there we go. It's on the back side. You can see it blowing out the side there. All right. All right, so I've got my little wire brush here. This one's kind of stiff, but genuine Briggs Stratton part, 697230. So let's open this baby up. There we go. Alright, push rods are in place. Let's, I guess I can go ahead and adjust the valves, right? Make sure it's top dead center. Alright, so on this one you can see I don't know if you can see it from where I'm looking at here, but you can see the intake port is coming here, and then your exhaust is on the top. So in the exhaust one, that's 6 thousandths. This one I got it at 6. That's probably more like 5, which is not bad. And let me put my stuff down. I can see what I did on this one. When you loosen up that inner lock nut, and I believe it's an Allen head, then you use this to tighten or loosen, and then crank that back down. So I'm going to make sure so I tighten it. Loosen that up. And where'd it go? So you can see how I loosened it up. I tightened it counterclockwise, loosens it. There we go. That should be just about right. So now I'm going to hold that in place. There we go. All right. Alright, let's put the muffler back on. And let's get this part of the carburetor on, this linkage here. Alright, now the carburetor, I wanted to clean it out. I might as well open it up and see how it looks in there. I hope it doesn't need an ultrasonic cleaning because mine went out. I had a Harbor Freight ultrasonic that I got back in May, so it's been June, July. It's not even 3 months, and I've maybe cleaned 6 to 8, maybe 10 carburetors, and it went out. I'm kind of disappointed. Well, from the looks of that, it looks like it's going to need some cleaning for sure. Try to save the gaskets. Well, I just ruined that one. Darn it. Oh yeah, got to clean that one. Okay, looks like a standard carburetor cleaning ahead of me. Let it soak in a little bit. So do you want to watch me go through all this? Because I know I can, if you want to see a carburetor cleaning, I can point you towards another video. Well, I'm going to go through this. If you want to see a carburetor cleaning, I'll point you towards another video. There's a ton of them out there, and I know I've done quite a few of them. And this one looks pretty typical. Just got to get all the varnish off of it. Alright, it's pretty clean. Always do one last check here, blowing in the nozzle and make sure the float is doing its job. Alright, I think that's got it. Alright, so I'm going to put the carburetor back on. Again, I can probably fast forward through all this. I'm just going to put the carburetor back on, put the hood and all that good stuff back on. It needs a fuel line, so I'll be getting that ready. These days, I'm getting everything motor lift. That's on my still on my back. I'm going to go bad news. Sorry. Old snowboarding accident. But that's on. Let's see. Here. Doing that bad. Gas tank lined up, and then we can put a new fuel line on. Let's get this dipstick back on. So when I took that off, it had these Phillips head screws on it, when they actually should be these little shoulder bolts. So luckily I had some spares. So we'll put the correct hardware on it. And this one, there should be a bolt going through here that attaches it down here at the bottom. So I think I do have an extra one of those too. Voila. So there it is, has that spacer, you put it through, tank, you have a spacer on there, then it bolts right in. You can probably barely see that from that angle. And there we go. It seems kind of loose actually. There we go. So now you can pivot back and forth. So we need to cut a fuel line. So there's the bolt I just put on, and see the spacer there, and we need to cut a fuel line going from here to the carburetor. So let me get I know I have some fuel lines here somewhere. So here's the fuel line I have, and a couple of clips. There's the other one. Let's put that on. Trying to do this one-handed, and it should go right there. So I'll cut it about right there, and we'll be able to put it on. Well, I'm going to have to put my camera down for a second while I cut this. Alright, there we go. It's all cut. Ooh, I almost cut it too short, didn't I? That's about right. I always like a little slack in there just in case, so that later on, I usually leave a little slack because later on, as the hose ages, and if it splits up here on either of those points, then you have a little room where you can just cut that end off and put it back on. But looks like I got it pretty tight. But that should work. Alright, everything's put together except for the throttle cable. And I just put fresh gas in it, so let's see if it'll crank over. This one has the probably be hard to start at first. I should have primed the carburetor. That cable's sticky too. But the engine itself sounds pretty strong actually. This cable was kind of sticky. You could tell it it didn't die off right off the bat, but it's almost there. This one's not bad, but so I just need to worry about these cables. And this was almost rattling off. Yeah, it's missing a screw here. A little rust. So I need to find a screw to fit that. And I'll play with this cable too. It seemed pretty tight. So I just need to loosen up these two cables. And one thing I haven't done yet is check the blade. So I'll do the usual. I like to tip it over this way, and I'm going to drain the oil out, and while it's draining I will take a look at the blade and sharpen it and balance it, all that good stuff. Alright, so the oil is draining. It was kind of dark. I'm glad I decided to change it. And under here there is some rust. That was expected. Yeah, we definitely need to sharpen that one. It's not too bad, but I can feel some little nicks. Alright, let's take this joker off and see what we got underneath there. My hands are all oily. They're sticking everywhere. Nope. Dang. Put these in there so I don't lose them. Okay, so what did that do? That just pops right on, right? Like that. Alright. So this cable should be in here. Yeah, it's all cracked up in there. There's nothing to hold it. Alright, well, I think I'm going to call it quits on that one. We got quite a bit done. The engine's running great. I replaced the head gasket, changed the oil, sharpened and balanced the blade. I oiled down the cables that are on there, and I just checked online, and the throttle cable assembly is available for $10 or $11. So I'm just going to wait for that part, and in the meantime I'm just going to probably power wash it down, and it's going to be ready to go. So I think that's it. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next project.